Chamber pressure is nominal.
Into the test flight of the inaugural Starship vehicle. Tower clear, we're into pitch over. Propulsion reports first stage engines nominal. What a sight when the ground cameras extended. We're flying at twice the thrust of the Saturn V heading to space. We're heading downwind.
Oppositional signal, surface proceed.
We're throttled down and throttled back up. Going through the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. And that call-out tells us Starship is through the period of as the velocity increases, the density of the atmosphere is decreasing.
Max Q.
Yes, no stress on the vehicle. The call-out. Max Q now.
90 seconds from now. To get ready, the booster will shut down all but 3 of the Raptor engines. Plants holding the 2 stages together.
Continuing to watch the first stage of the downrange.
Starship will then separate from the Super Heavy booster and head to space. And at the same time, the 300
seconds into flight.
Super Heavy will flip the booster.
Our next major activity is going to be shutdown of the first stage.
On path.
Houston tracking station now acquiring the vehicle. With shutdown, we will get separation of Starship from Super Heavy and ignition of the Starship engines. When Starship separates, we light up 6 engines in a staggered sequence. If all goes well, those 6 engines will burn for almost 6.5 minutes. Onboard view from Starship. And there's views of the Raptor engines on the second stage as we prepare for stage separation.
Down the first stage and
after stage
perform
separation,
staging.
the first stage will flip and begin a boost back maneuver for landing in the Gulf.
We'll see the booster engines start to shut down. You'll see all but 3
position of Houston, signal Houston and New Orleans.
And we'll see the engines ignite.
Continuing to fly, 2 minutes 40 seconds. Let's get ready for main engine cutoff.
Booster will start to do its flip and then move into the boost back burn, setting it up.
Beginning the flip for stage separation.
We got a Starship on its way to space and a
our
booster on the
Super
way back
Heavy
to the Gulf.
booster. And as you can see, the Super Heavy booster has just experienced a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. However, our ship is still underway with all 6. And we just heard there, ship avionics, power and
right now it
nominal,
looks
all
like
6
we
engines
saw
are
the
lit,
start of
as
the
you can
flip,
see from
but
the movie
obviously
there.
we're
At
seeing
the
from the
bottom
ground
right-hand
cameras
side of your
the
screen.
entire Starship stack continuing to rotate. We should have had separation by now.
Now,
Obviously,
we did
this
know that
does not appear to be a nominal
the hot
situation.
staging was going to be incredibly dynamic. We knew that there was a chance that the booster would not survive. But we're going to take that data and figure out how we can make the booster better for the next hot stage.
You'll be able to
Yeah, that hot staging put a lot of load on the top of the booster.
Those are the ones that
And
can
of course it flipped around there, a lot of dynamic stuff happening. But ship is still going strong.
And it's doing great. Right now, the ship, the second stage, is on its way. Like we said, you can see all 6 of its engines are ignited. Incredible views coming to us. The next major milestone for the ship will be the shutdown of those engines, side of your screen, or SECO, heavy booster, second engine cutoff, as well as on the right-hand side of your screen. If you follow our Falcon 9 launches, familiar terminology there. To that as the ship. So far, today has been incredibly successful, even with the RUD of the first Super Heavy booster. This is amazing.
The next one will
primary
be the
objective of the booster
burn,
today to get to hot staging, to get ship on its way to orbit. It did that admirably.
To help.
Yeah, we definitely asked.
Starship trajectory nominal.
Just as a reminder of the
All right, great news there. That trajectory for ship is nominal.
Cape Canaveral.
Once again, Starship's second stage, firing those engines,
stage separation,
and as you just heard, everything's looking good.
Right through it.
Now, for the ship,
as well
we
as
wanted it to survive hot staging, which, as you
telling
can
us
see
that
there
the
by that
path
little
that
dot
Starship
on your
is
screen,
on,
it did.
Is good.
We also want to basically demonstrate that successful startup of that of those engines, demonstrating controlled ascent, which is what it's doing right now, and eventually orbital insertion. We are hoping to basically send this around the Earth, and if it makes it this far, splash down in the Pacific Ocean, a couple hundred miles north of Hawaii.
Like, this is just a phenomenal test so far. Super Heavy is
now, if we get that far,
today.
like all of that sounds great. Secondary objectives for ship, again, continuing to gather engine data and about its health, performance.
Inner circles.
Great news there. That tells us that the chamber pressures inside of the Starship, again, that's that small dot on your screen. Basically, the propellant pressures in the ship are looking good.
From the start of the boost back burn. Yeah, the bottom right corner of your screen, you can see essentially a user interface showing us which engines are lit. So the three center sea-level Raptor engines on ship are gimbaling engines. The three outer engines in the triangle, the larger ones, are Raptor vacuum engines. All of them continuing to fire nominally, so they're at the pressures that we expect to try to get into our target trajectory today.
Bring down the
And
boosters.
we're not targeting orbit today. We're targeting almost orbit today. That's very intentional as part of the mission design. The goal is to get to a thrust profile similar to what we would need for orbit, but also to get to the energy levels that the ship would need to dissipate for re-entry. And so we're actually going in a suborbital trajectory today, but that trajectory will get us to the energy levels that we need at re-entry, where we can really stress that heat shield and get valuable data on re-entry.
To make it that far, to
and this calls that we are still on a nominal trajectory here, and seeing nominal pressures means that we have a really good shot of hitting our target orbit.
Burn.
Now, if the booster had survived, we would be around the time where it would be getting ready to land, performing its re-entry, but it unfortunately did not survive. That being said, that's okay. It survived several seconds after the hot staging, so we're going to take that data and improve the hot staging sequence and probably improve the hardware itself for the next flight.
So far, we've hit controlled ascent. We're in the middle of that right now. We demonstrated the hot staging. Kate, as you said, cruised through that. We demonstrated controlled entry of the booster. Just stopped a little short of the engine relay, but hey, that's something we can learn for the next one.
Yeah. Now, that view that we just had moments ago was a live shot of Star Command. There you see it again. This is our Mission Control Center at Starbase, where vehicle operators are standing by. Now, the next milestone coming up is in less than a minute.
Coming up on the projected time that ship would shut down its engines.
Engine cut off.
There we go.
As you can tell by the excitement from the crowd here at Mission Control Center in Hawthorne, there's a great view of our Star Command Center. That's our control center at Starbase, Texas. The tab here, Mission Control Center behind us in Hawthorne. Everyone is super exciting. What a successful day this has been so far.
Incredible. Look at these views, Dan.
I'm just completely blown away right now. What a day. Congratulations to the entire SpaceX team. I mean, this flight pretty much just started, but we're farther than we've ever been before. We've got a Starship not just in space, but on its coast phase into space. Just to recap, where we've come. And it's only been 9.5 minutes. How has it only been 9.5 minutes? We lifted off right on time at 8:25 a.m. We didn't have to hold at our gate at all. We had 33 out of 33 Raptor engines open up and light and get us through a nominal ascent. Another successful hot stage. All 6 engines on the ship propelling us into orbit. We did see what looked like a nominal boost back burn. And then we did make it all the way to the landing burn this time. Didn't light all the engines that we expected, and we did lose the booster. We'll have to go through the data to figure out exactly what happened, obviously. So we'll be on the lookout for information about that. But wow, a ship in space. We've got a bunch of, as we said, ambitious objectives ahead of us. Over the next couple of minutes and pretty much over the next hour, where we're going to we've got the ship in space. We're now going to take advantage of this and try and learn as much as possible about some of the other systems, including that first ever Raptor relight in space. So it's just going to be incredible. So all of that still to come. The mission just started, but wow, what a liftoff! What a hot stage! What an amazing sight to see Starship there in outer space.
I can't believe we're seeing it in space. This is awesome.
Wonderful.
Now, we are going to be coasting for the next about 30 minutes or so. We'll be back around the T plus 40-minute mark, and that'll be Starship continuing to coast, hit those ambitious test objectives, and then continue on to re-entry. We're not totally sure what video that we'll get, since that normally comes to us as we overfly ground stations, and we don't have a ton of those along our trajectory. But as we have video, we'll be sure to bring that to you. What you're seeing here, it looks like the vehicle is sort of moving back and forth. Part of what you're also seeing is one of the cameras, this onboard view that we have, is on the end of a flap. Starship has front flaps and rear flaps in the vehicle. So we've got 4 of those. And, oh man, we can see the heating on those flaps as we're starting to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. This is where the Earth's atmosphere is doing the work to slow us down.
Now, like we said, this plasma field is, wow, what a view. We hope to maintain these views throughout. Starship is so big that we're hoping that the plasma field doesn't entirely blanket the entire vehicle. Right now, it is not. The Starlinks are
Views brought to you by Starlink.
Yeah, the Starlinks are still communicating and still capturing the data and the video that we see here. I mean, Shiva, this is just absolutely incredible views. We've never seen anything like this before. This is the biggest flying object ever in space.
Absolutely, Kate. And it's important to note, with the ascent burn that we did was to get us to orbital velocities, even though we were on a nearly orbital trajectory. So the heating and the loads that Starship is going through right now are what it would be getting if it were recovering from an orbital mission. And just the fact that we have views through entry, this is incredible.
Yeah. Again, this is the furthest and fastest that Starship has ever flown. And you can definitely tell by the crowd here in Hawthorne.
The heat shield tiles doing their work. We talked about it earlier. Up to 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit that those heat shield tiles are dissipating as we are re-entering.
Yeah, now this was one of the critical, or rather the key mission objectives that we were hoping to hit today. We have never, like I said before, this is the fastest and furthest that Starship has ever flown. So this is the first time that we're getting to collect this re-entry data and understand how these 18,000 hexagonal heat shield tiles are working together to protect the belly of Starship as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere. Once again, the atmosphere is doing us a big favor here by... The atmosphere is actually doing us a huge favor here by acting as a braking system for Starship as it re-enters the atmosphere.
And that's part of the reason why the flaps are so important. We're using the body of Starship and the drag from the atmosphere to slow us down from orbital speed. But you want the vehicle to remain stable. You want those heat shield tiles pointed down. so they can absorb the heat of the Earth's atmosphere. And so that's the purpose that they are serving during the hypersonic phase and then again during the subsonic phase.
Absolutely. So like we said, these views are being provided by a couple Starlink terminals that are positioned on Starship itself. As that plasma builds, we're hoping that we can bring these views back to you, but you can see the telemetry there on the right-hand side of your screen. If you watch closely, you can see the speed decelerating. Again, that's the friction of the atmosphere resulting in this plasma field, or excuse me, the blanket that is potentially blocking the Starlink terminals right now. So we'll bring those views back to you if we get them. But right now, for those of you that have recently joined, Starship is currently re-entering Earth's atmosphere. This is super exciting because it's the furthest and fastest that Starship has ever flown.
It's just absolutely incredible. Major test milestone, something we wanted to accomplish on Flight 2, getting to it today. So just awesome.
Now, we actually have some heat shields here. So these are what's doing all the work on Starship right now. There are 18,000 hexagonal heat shields like these. So this one that I have is flat, like this is what would be positioned on the flaps of Starship, whereas Shiva has something a little different.
Yeah, the one I have would be on the curved surfaces of Starship. I'll just put it in frame here. So we've got these attached at various points around the vehicle.